Hi everyone, Rose Wildsmith here. Today I'm so excited to show you my new books that I made, and you can buy these on Amazon, and they are photos I've taken over the years of different graffiti textures. There's actually two different books. I've designed them as books of scrapbook paper or artist's paper, I'm calling them. And the idea is that you can use them in your artwork. You can cut them out of the book, you can tear them out and you can use it. So I'll just give you a little flick through and then we can use some of these papers together in one of the projects that I'm working on at the moment. Okay, so let's go for the first one. This is Graffiti Artist Paper Pad. The papers are all matte, which is really nice. They're nice and thin and they're printed on both sides, but I've also made sure that everything is printed twice so that if you really like both images, then you can use it once on one side and once on the other side. So there's 40 designs printed on both sides and then each one is printed twice. So there's 40 sheets with 40 different designs. Each page has something on the front and the back, which is useful if you want to use it for, you know, origami or something like that. So this one is more sort of bright colours, but you can see like there's the brick textures poking through. And some of these are more of the grungy textures, so there are a couple of images that are in both books. So all of these images are under copyright because they're my photos, but that's just so that people don't copy the whole book. But if you want to use these papers in your art projects and then sell them, that's fine. And you can obviously use them however you like. At the place where I used to have my art studio, there was a lot of graffiti and street art around there. Okay, so now we're back to the beginning again, and then it just repeats again. And so it's not perforated, you have to cut all the pages out with scissors or with a craft knife or something, but it does mean that everything's contained so you can keep it all together really well. And then I'll just do a flick through of this grungy one. Not quite sure which is my favourite. I do get drawn to the grungy things, but I do love bright colours. So this is the grungy one. Lots of peeling paint, torn papers, rust. And again, this one has 40 images printed, each one printed twice, so you get 40 sheets and each sheet is printed on both sides. So this would make really interesting origami. Just see the grungy textures here. Lots of peeling paper. This triple X is from Amsterdam's flag, so a lot of these pictures I've taken in Amsterdam. There's a grungy texture that was also in the Graffiti Book. Look at this rust, oh, gorgeous. I love this lock here. Oh, I love all this ripped paper texture. And there we are, back to the beginning again, and then it's all printed again. So let's use these in some of my projects. So at the moment I'm working on this junk journal. I've been making signatures out of various bits of paper. I think I'm going to make a video about how I made this because it's a really fun way of making the pages. They're all kind of patchworked. So I think I'll make a video all about making this journal, but in this video I'm going to use some of my new papers in my junk journal. And I know these aren't really junk, but well, I'm going to use them anyway. So let's try taking a page out of here. Maybe I can use something that's in the Grunge Book because that's a bit more junky. So first of all, I'm just going to try tearing this one out. Let's see. See, it tears out really nicely. Let's see what else we've got. We've got some ephemera here, and I've got various bits of paper that I've painted on and printed on, and I've got some eco-dyed paper here. And what I'm doing is I'm making a page that's about the right size by patchworking together different bits of different papers to make each page interesting. So I'm going to just tear this up. I can use a bit of it and use this as a kind of template. Oh, I really like this paper. So cool. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm using masking tape and washi tape. So I stick it together like that, and then I flip it over, use a glue stick, and glue the back. Got a bit of comic here. I'll add this in. I might tape it on the other side. Another thing I like to use is these little thin bits of masking tape. And then again, flip it over. There we go. Let's take a piece out of this book. Let's do this one. And I think I'm going to use some of this blue tape here. And so here I've got, I've flipped it that way and glued it, but then it also needs to be glued under here, so it's a little bit tricky, but just lift it up and glue underneath. A bit of craft paper. You can hear that, that's my pet frog. Just saying hello. So what I'm doing here is I am putting a little bit of deli paper, because there was a little bit of glue that came underneath, and so just to stop the pages all sticking together, I've just stuck a little bit of deli paper down, and it also gives another interesting texture. And this kind of peeks over the top, so I'm going to just take that bit off. So again, I misjudged where the glue needed to go when I was flipping this piece over and sticking it back down. So I'm just going to cover it up. You could actually cover it up with some more washi tape. I might do that actually. But the idea with this technique is that it's very messy and spontaneous and intuitive, and you don't worry too much about being perfect because it's a junk journal. So that's pretty much there. I think I've got a little corner here that needs to be filled in. I've got a little scrap here that I could add. I could add it on this side. Sometimes you might feel confident just to glue things down without having to use the masking tape. And there's a little bit of glue there, so let's just use a bit of this. Just go over. There we go, there's our page, and then we can fold it in half. And there we go, there's a page that I can put in my junk journal. It's got loads of interesting textures, and I think adding in these pages from my art paper pad really adds an extra dimension that I really like. I'm really pleased with these. Very exciting for me because I've always wanted to make books. How exciting. So I hope you'll check them out. I'll have the link for these in my description. Well, that's it from me for this video, so I'll see you next time. Bye.